Hi, I'm Stephanie Brito.
I'm Elizabeth Martinez, and we're with The Harbinger for MLEC TV. And so,
We're going to be reporting the latest news.
so the Grammys, they were on Sunday.
Yeah, I was really excited to see some of my favorite artists perform. Did you see Pink's performance? That was fantastic. Did you see all the acrobatics that she did?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. What I really liked was, I'm a big indie fan, so I liked the duo done between Imagine Dragons and Kendrick Lamar.
I know, you wouldn't expect that to sound good, but nowadays they're starting to mix rap with a lot of different genres to make this really unique type of music that hasn't really been seen before.
Yeah,
and
I saw it in Katy Perry's performance.
So yeah, it was so eccentric and so different, and I feel as if nowadays we're just getting these new genres that we never thought was possible before. So that was what was really represented in the Grammys.
Yeah, well, what I'm interested is how the rap community sort of feels about it, being that Macklemore won.
Yeah, he
right?
won that, and they were upset about that.
Best rapper?
Album.
Best album. And I know he apologized to the rap community because he represented them. So yeah. What else in the news?
And then yesterday the Norwegians are nominating Edward Snowden for a Nobel Prize, which you really wouldn't expect that, considering that Edward Snowden, in fact, was the one that leaked documents from the NSA revealing that the U.S. was spying on different countries and spying on people of the U.S. But the Norwegian committee feels that this was that he was revealing the
nature of technology,
the nature
of
national security.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how that necessarily is gonna play out. I don't think it'll get too much buzz, but I know that in the State of the Union, which was just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was on Tuesday. The White House.
The president didn't even bother to mention NSA. So
if he were to win this Nobel Prize, that would create a lot of international tension. Especially with Russia, since he's in Russia, rented asylum in Russia. And then, so the State of the Union was on Tuesday. It was at 9 o'clock. It was live streaming online, and you could watch it on TV. So it's something that the president does once a year, and sometimes even twice a year. And he just sets his agenda for the year, what he plans to accomplish in the year through his presidency. So this year, he said he had a lot of great ideas for this year. But a lot of people are skeptical about how these ideas are going to be accomplished, and the administration didn't really lay out a plan.
Go into specifics. Yeah. He said a lot of facts, but he never actually went into the details of his plans. I mean, he sort of touched immigration reform, and then he sort of ran away with it.
I guess he wanted to play it safe.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, it's his second term. He doesn't really have much to play it safe for.
Exactly.
So, but I know that throughout the State of the Union, something big that he was sort of not, I wouldn't say as harsh as attack, but in a way attacking Congress and telling them, we need to get things done, and I'm going to go forth and do that. And so I think that'll be interesting. Did you see Kathy McMorris? She did the Republican rebuttal. She's a Republican from the D.C. area, and
and both of them also did a lot of personal anecdotes in their addresses.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy with her, little farm girl and picking apples, and then Obama with Corey, the army guy that was injured.
Well, I thought that something that was really nice on the president's part was he acknowledged John Boehner, the Speaker of the House, and he said, that the son of a single woman can become the president, and that the son of a bartender can become the Speaker of the House. And so that was nice. I got a standing ovation. But yeah, Kathy McMorris's thing was sort of monotone, but she said I think she said some really great things. As I was looking back on the transcript of it, she said she actually didn't go too much into the personal anecdotes as the president did, and she really went into what it is that the Republicans' views are. However, just on both sides, I didn't see too much of an actual plan.
Exactly. They're both I think they're both trying to stay calm and neutral because they don't want to attack each other since they're already in such harsh terms at the moment. And I hope that this year that the president can do what he says he wants to do, and that there won't be any issues in Congress.
Yeah, I know he made some remarks about especially the Affordable Care Act, which has been something really controversial this year. And so I know that he mentioned, that we're not going to go back and just repeal something that already was voted on. And so he was very direct to Congress, and I'm hoping that they get some things done this year and that they stick to their agenda. He mentioned Guantanamo Bay closing the prison there, but
wasn't he supposed to do that in his first 100 days?
Yeah, he said he was going to do it within his first 100 days. It hasn't really happened, so I'm hoping for a better year.
Yeah, we can only wait
and hope.
And you don't have to be so skeptical. And okay, so also the Olympics are coming up. You should be excited, especially since we're down here in Florida. We can watch the Winter Olympics without having to wear our snow gear. We can watch the Winter Olympics in 80-degree weather. How awesome is that?
Well, I know it's been actually it was a little cold last week. I brought out my winter jacket. As dramatic. It's in the 70s today, which is nice. We don't we're not used to experiencing that, but yeah.
And some snow in North Florida, but you know what? We're here in paradise.
Yeah, did you hear about what happened in Atlanta, Georgia? There was
the ice on the roads.
Yeah,
that was insane. In Atlanta, right? Atlanta, a few days ago, people were in their cars. They couldn't go home because the roads were so icy and it was unsafe.
Yeah. They opened up school buildings and grocery stores so that people could go in there and sleep in a warm place. And the funny thing is that the governor of Georgia didn't actually call it a state of emergency until much later in the day, after the news had been reporting for hours on what was going on, and he had actually attended various events, and then he sort of came out and then said, "Oh, we were kind of unaware of what was going on." So. But yeah, it's going to be cold in Sochi for the Winter Olympics, and it looks like they're having some security issues and terrorist threats.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's an international event that everyone is watching. So these groups are they find this as an opportunity to get whatever their to advance their interests in a way. But the security is going to be really tight, so I don't think that Sochi is going to have any security issues, but rather the outskirts of Sochi, because there's only so much the security can do. And yesterday we had our Sochi talk on Twitter, so if you didn't join, you really suck for not joining. And it was at 7:00 yesterday. Hashtag Sochi talk. Yeah. You can look at the hashtag to look at things that we've said about Sochi. If you want any information about the Olympics, you can find it there. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm interested in it because it's sort of ironic how the games have sort of become political, considering that the Olympics is sort of something where all the teams come together and they're supposed to play against each other, and so it's just this leveled field of just athletes doing what they love. And so I think it's interesting that now it's sort of become a political deal in which there's been a lot of question, what about
LGBT athletes?
Yeah, exactly. Gay.
With Russia having a lot of legislation that is against LGBT and LGBT propaganda, and they don't really have a problem with any LGBT athletes. At least that's what they've said. But the only thing they don't want is any propaganda from them to their children, which I believe that's because the youth is a very powerful tool for the country to do what they want to do.
But I mean, that's understandable. If a country has other views and stuff like that, and they come into our nation, I don't think the United States would want that either.
And a lot of people wanted to protest that by not attending the Olympics, and I don't think that's the right way to approach.
But yeah, so that's basically the wrap up.
The Olympics.
That's basically the wrap up of the week. You can go online, watch State of the Union, get caught up in what's going on in politics, as well as watch the Olympics.
And go to hashtag Sochi Talk for more information on the Olympics. Thank you.
So, see you guys next week.
See you.